You may be living with a quiet frustration that's hard to put into words. Your intuition keeps guiding you, warning you, revealing things before they happen, yet the world around you tells you it's just coincidence. You may have been taught to doubt your inner knowing, to explain away your foresight as luck, imagination, or random chance. Over time, this creates inner conflict. Part of you knows there is something deeper operating within you, while another part wonders why no one else seems to see it. You sense that you are navigating life differently. But without confirmation, that awareness can feel isolating, confusing, or even overwhelming. In today's video, we will reveal what has been hidden in plain sight all along, the truth that the map has always been in your hands. We will help you understand why your intuition is not a fleeting spark, not a momentary insight, and not an accident of chance. What you carry is a design, a pattern, a covenant woven into you before your first breath. While others search outward for direction, borrow belief systems, or follow paths laid out by others, you were born with a complete inner navigation system already activated. This video will help you recognize that what you've been experiencing is not imagination, it is alignment. By the end of this video, you will no longer question whether your knowing is real. You will understand why the road ahead suddenly feels illuminated, and why clarity is arriving now, not earlier, not later, but now. This understanding will shift how you see yourself, your past, and the choices you are being called to make next. You will stop second-guessing what has always guided you and begin trusting the intelligence that has been quietly leading you all along. If you have ever felt that you were meant to walk with purpose rather than wander, stay with this video until the end, because what you are about to remember may change how you move forward forever. If these words resonate with you, if you feel a deep connection within yourself, subscribe to the Spiritual Flow channel now. Each video on the channel is a reminder, a piece of the puzzle that helps you remember your own path and mission. When you subscribe, you're not just following a channel, you're entering a flow of awakening with kindred spirits. And now, take a deep breath, let go of all doubt, and listen, because the story about to unfold won't come to you by chance. Section 1. The divine signature written in flesh. The lines on your hands are not the accidental creases formed by clenched fists or passing time. They are the fault lines of the soul itself, sacred geometries etched into living flesh with intention, memory, and destiny. Each line carries intelligence, each intersection holds meaning. They are not random marks, but deliberate inscriptions, a quiet language written before you ever learn to speak. The mark of the M is not merely a symbol associated with luck or material success. It speaks of mastery over the physical world, over structure, over creation. It reveals an innate executive intelligence, the ability to organize chaos, to build systems where none existed, and to turn vision into form. Those who carry this mark are not passive participants in life. They instinctively understand how reality functions and how to move within it with authority and precision. The mystic X, by contrast, is the brand of the seer. It marks the one who stands between worlds, rooted in the physical yet attuned to what lies beyond it. This symbol speaks of perception that transcends logic, of intuition sharpened into knowing. Those who bear it often sense what cannot be explained, perceive patterns before they appear, and carry an unspoken familiarity with the unseen. One foot walks the material world, the other rests in the realm of spirit. Together, these markings reveal something profound. You are not merely walking a path laid out by others. You are shaping the path itself. You were not dropped into existence to improvise blindly or follow borrowed directions. You were given the rule book. You were handed the master key. And whether you have consciously recognized it or not, The signature has always been there, written in flesh, waiting for remembrance. Before we move forward, pause for a moment and let this land. If something stirred inside you while hearing this, if your hands suddenly felt different, heavier with meaning, or strangely familiar, honor that recognition. These symbols are not meant to impress the mind but to awaken remembrance. If this resonates, support the message by liking this video and share your thoughts in the comments so others know they are not alone in this discovery. And if you're not sure what to say yet, simply type, "I remember who I am" below. With that acknowledgement, we now move into the next layer of this revelation, where the meaning of these marks begins to unfold even deeper. Section 2. The grand conjunction of X and M. To truly understand what is written upon your hands, we must first learn the alphabet of destiny itself. The markings you carry are not decorative symbols, nor are they random formations of skin. They are living channels of power, energetic signatures through which purpose, intelligence, and destiny move into form. Your hands are not merely tools for action, they are maps of how consciousness expresses itself through you. The mark of the M is one of the most structurally significant formations found on the human palm. It emerges through the precise convergence of the heart line, the head line, and the lifeline, and is ultimately sealed by the fate line. This is not coincidence. This configuration signals an individual who possesses the rare capacity to translate inner vision into outer reality. Those who carry the mark of the M are not meant to remain in the realm of ideas alone. They are natural architects of manifestation, builders of systems, creators of enterprises, and stewards of long-term legacy. Whether their empire is made of wealth, knowledge, influence, or spiritual leadership, they instinctively understand how to bring order, structure, and sustainability to what others only imagine. The mystic X, by contrast, speaks to a different but equally profound dimension of existence. Found between the heart line and the head line, it marks the presence of an old soul, one who has lived many lifetimes of learning and remembrance. This is the sign of the intuitive empath, the one who perceives truth before language forms around it. Carriers of the mystic X are deeply sensitive to the unseen currents of life. They feel energy in rooms, sense intentions behind words, and recognize shifts in fate before they become visible. They are bridges between worlds, the material and the spiritual, the known and the ineffable. Each of these marks alone is a powerful gift. The mark of the M grants mastery over form. The mystic X grants mastery over perception. But when both appear together on the same hands, their union becomes something far greater than the sum of its parts. This is no longer a quiet blessing, it is a declaration. A proclamation that the soul carrying these marks is meant not only to see beyond the veil, but also to shape what exists on this side of it. Section 3. The inner oracle of the left hand. The left hand speaks not of what you have achieved, but of what you arrived carrying. It reveals potential rather than proof. The original blueprint of the soul before the world shaped you, corrected you, or taught you to doubt yourself. This hand holds the memory of who you were meant to be before effort, before struggle, before survival became necessary. It is the map of latent power, quiet, precise, and waiting. When both the mystic X and the mark of the M appear on the left hand, it signals something rare and often misunderstood. You were not meant to earn mastery in the way others do. You were born with it dormant, like a sleeping giant whose strength was designed to awaken at the right moment rather than be forced through ambition or competition. Your gifts were never about external validation. They were encoded, reserved, and timed. From an early age, you sensed what others could not. You did not simply observe people, you read them. You felt the atmosphere of a room before a word was spoken. You noticed shifts in tone, unspoken tensions, hidden motives, and emotional undercurrents that escaped everyone else's awareness. Outcomes appeared in your mind long before events unfolded in reality, not because you were guessing, but because you could perceive the trajectory beneath the surface. This awareness, however, came at a cost. While others celebrated the voyage, you saw the iceberg. While excitement filled the room, you sensed the fault line beneath it. Your instincts warned you where others felt safe, and your foresight disrupted narratives people wanted to believe. When you spoke, your cautions were often dismissed as negativity. Your clarity was labeled fear. Your deep perception was mistaken for paranoia. Over time, this created isolation. You learned that seeing too much, too soon, could distance you from those who preferred comfort over truth. You discovered that insight is not always welcomed, especially when it challenges illusion. Yet this was never a flaw in you. It was the natural consequence of being born with knowledge the world was not yet ready to hear. The left hand does not ask you to suppress this inner oracle. It reminds you that your perception is not accidental, and your sensitivity is not a weakness. It is an ancient form of intelligence, one that waits patiently until the moment arrives when truth is no longer a threat, but a necessity. Section 4. The magnetic wisdom of destiny. These markings on the left hand do not search for truth, chase meaning, or strain toward revelation. They exist as a signal. Because of this, truth moves toward them naturally, almost inevitably, as if guided by an unseen current. Opportunities do not need to be hunted or forced. They arrive in precise timing, drawn in by an inner alignment rather than outward effort. Life responds to you differently. Doors open without explanation. Encounters unfold with a sense of quiet inevitability. What others spend years trying to manifest, you often find appearing at the exact moment it is needed. People sense this energy before they understand it. They are drawn to you instinctively, compelled to speak honestly, to confide secrets they have never shared, to unburden emotions they could not name until they sat in your presence. You did not train for this role, nor did you consciously choose it. Long before you had language for psychology, spirituality, or intuition, you were already holding space for others. You listened beyond words. You felt beneath stories. You understood what was being said even when nothing was spoken. In this way, you became a counselor by nature, not by title. The mark of the M within your hand does not magnetize prosperity through desire or ambition. It attracts abundance as a creative force, an extension of your ability to build, organize, and bring structure to what was once invisible. Wealth, influence, or success flows toward you when you are aligned with purpose, not when you chase reward. Creation, not accumulation, is the true engine behind your material magnetism. The mystic X, meanwhile, gathers wisdom from realms unseen. It connects you to subtle truths, intuitive knowing, and ancient insight that cannot be learned through instruction alone. This is knowledge remembered rather than acquired, carried quietly within you until the moment it is needed. Your task in this lifetime was never to acquire power, to prove worth, or to become something you are not. It was always to accept what was already placed within you. The engine of your soul has been running all along, humming beneath the surface of your awareness, patient and steady. It does not demand attention, it waits. And when you are ready, when your hand finally rests upon the key, it responds, not with force, but with certainty. Before we move forward, take a moment to let this settle. Reflection is not passive, it is how wisdom becomes lived experience. Consider where in your life truth has found you without effort, where doors opened without force, and where people felt safe enough to reveal themselves simply by being near you. This awareness is part of the activation itself. If something in this section resonated, I invite you to leave a comment and share what stood out most, or simply type, "I accept the power within me." Your reflection anchors the insight, and it prepares you for what comes next. Section 5. The World Shaper of the Right Hand. The right hand speaks the language of manifestation. It governs action, execution, and the tangible shaping of the world. While the left hand reveals vision and inner knowing, the right hand is where that knowing becomes real. When both the mystic X and the mark of the M are etched here, something decisive occurs. Potential no longer remains an idea or a feeling. It becomes force. Thought becomes movement. Insight becomes structure. At this stage, you are no longer only the oracle who sees what others miss. You step fully into the role of the architect. Your intuition does not float abstractly above reality. It sharpens into a tactical instrument. You sense timing, leverage, and consequence with unusual precision. You know not only what is true, but when to act and how to move. Decisions that overwhelm others come to you with clarity, because you perceive the hidden order beneath complexity. Your words begin to mobilize people. When you speak, others feel oriented. Confusion settles. Direction emerges. You may notice that teams organize themselves around your presence, conversations gain focus, and plans suddenly feel achievable. This is not persuasion through force or dominance. It is alignment. People respond because your words carry coherence, and coherence is magnetic. Your actions, in turn, construct lasting systems. You are not drawn to temporary fixes or surface-level solutions. You instinctively build for durability, for structures that can hold weight over time. Whether in business, leadership, creativity, or community, you see where success truly lies and quietly organize reality to meet it. You recognize inefficiency without resentment and replace it without drama. What others struggle to sustain, you stabilize through design. As a result, markets shift, communities transform, environments recalibrate around you. False structures, those built on fear, ego, or fragmentation, begin to collapse, often without confrontation, not because you attack them, but because they cannot survive in the presence of coherence. Your alignment exposes what is hollow. Your clarity reveals what no longer works. You do not rage against broken systems. You do not waste energy fighting decay. You simply outgrow it. And in doing so, you leave behind something stronger, cleaner, and more intelligent than what existed before. This is the quiet power of the right hand, marked by both X and M. Not destruction, but reformation, reality reshaped through embodied wisdom and decisive action. Section 6. The harmonization of both hands. To carry these markings on both hands is exceedingly rare, and it signifies something far greater than talent or luck. It is the state of total alignment where inner knowing and outer action move as one continuous force. In you, intuition does not linger as a feeling waiting to be validated, nor does insight remain trapped in contemplation. The moment truth arrives within you, it moves outward without resistance. There is no delay between what you perceive and what you do. No hesitation between vision and execution. No fracture between intention and result. While many live divided, pulled in opposite directions by desire and fear, insight and doubt, longing and avoidance, you move in a single, unified current. Your inner compass is stable, and your outer steps follow it naturally. You do not second-guess your knowing or sabotage your own momentum. Because of this coherence, your life advances at a pace others cannot understand. You accomplish in years what others spend entire lifetimes circling, attempting, or postponing. What feels effortless to you often appears miraculous to those who are still fragmented within themselves. This is the mark of the mystic king, the spiritual strategist. You are the one who can sit in stillness at dawn, listening to the subtle intelligence of existence, and by dusk, translate that wisdom into tangible change. Your meditation is not an escape from the world, it is a briefing. Your action is not reckless ambition, it is informed precision. You know when to wait, when to move, and when to let reality rearrange itself around your presence. Your existence quietly dissolves false divisions that the world insists must remain separate. In you, power does not corrupt compassion, it refines it. Spirituality does not oppose success, it directs it. Depth does not weaken authority, it stabilizes it. You demonstrate, simply by how you live, that wisdom and effectiveness are not opposing paths but the same path expressed fully. Where others struggle to reconcile who they are inside with what they do outside, you embody both simultaneously. And in that harmony, reality responds. These marks were never meant to spare you from difficulty. They were placed to equip you for meaningful struggle, the kind that refines rather than diminishes. Your path has always moved through contrast moments of deep solitude followed by seasons of visible leadership, hours of quiet contemplation, balanced by times when decisive command was required. Nothing about this rhythm was accidental. It trained you to hold opposing forces without breaking, to think deeply and act clearly, to remain inwardly anchored while shaping the outer world. Your wisdom did not arrive gently. It was carved through betrayal, sharpened by disappointment, and strengthened through endurance when retreat would have been easier. Yet from those scars, light emerged. What once wounded you became the source of discernment. What once tested you became the proof of your capacity. You were never chosen for comfort or convenience. You were chosen for impact, for the ability to stand where others hesitate, and to build what others can only imagine. The lines on your palms are not symbolic decorations. They are a living record of a soul that consented to a task of consequence before this lifetime ever began. They testify that fate is real, that certain lives are designed with intention, and that some individuals carry responsibilities larger than personal fulfillment alone. When you look at your hands, you are not seeing skin and bone. You are seeing the agreement you made with creation to carry vision, to endure pressure, and to translate insight into form. And this is the truth many forget. The work is not finished. It is only beginning. What you have lived so far was preparation. What comes next will require clarity, courage, and commitment, but you are not unqualified. You never were. If this message resonates, leave a comment below and write ****. I honor the agreement I made with creation. ****. Let that declaration anchor what you already know. If you feel the depth of these messages, subscribe and follow the Spiritual Flow channel so you don't miss the next videos. Every piece of content on the channel is created to help you better understand your soul journey, your inner strength, and the path you were born to walk. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join Spiritual Flow on your journey of awakening and transformation.